Hi everyone, this is Hatman here today, and as promised, I would do a full month of videos on Blade Runner. Now, there are currently two reasons why I'd want to do this. First reason is because it is November 2019. The film is set, at least in the beginning, in November 2019. The second reason is quite unfortunate, I'm afraid, because as quite a few of you may know, Rutger Hauer has sadly passed away this year. I did want to do a video about it, about his work, but unfortunately, well, time restrictions kind of neglected it from happening. Unfortunate really, and I'm sorry for that. But that said, I'm going to do a full month of Blade Runner videos. This first video is going to be on the 5-disc limited edition Steelbook 10. Now, there is of course a much bigger version. That's on a that's in a briefcase, I think, but I don't have that, unfortunately. Essentially, it's the same thing as what I have, but on a bigger scale, I guess. Well, I'm just gonna show you the whole thing, I guess. Have fun. Okay everyone, here we are. This is the Blade Runner Steelbook 10. I'm just gonna go through the outside of it before we go through the inside. Because trust me, there's a lot on the inside. First off, we have, well, the outside of it. It's beveled out to give a better detailing on it, and as you can see, it's got the name, it's got the actor, and it's got the character of a Blade Runner doing his thing, running around with a gun. Don't do this at home, by the way. You know, running around, and so on. Now for the inside, we have one of these little tiny things. I'll just get this out of the way. Now, I literally don't know what these things are called, but it's got like a little scene thing up here with Deckard at the end. He's basically pulling up his gun before he enters his apartment. And well, if you've seen the movie, then you know what bit that is. Now we're going to get on to the main part of this whole thing. Now, this whole thing, at first it looks similar to what we had out there. But then we slide this out and boom! We've got a lot of detailing going on. We got different characters. We even got a director right there. Same thing on the other side, but with a bit of extra stuff like concept art and, you know, other little bits like things that Ridley Scott wrote down and draw, known as Ridleygrams at the time. Then we open up. Of course, there's a bit more. We got Zora, we got Bryant, we got some more stuff. We got Abdul bin Hassan, Deckard, and Gaff. And now we open it up even more, and we got the discs. Now, please understand that this is a little bit tricky to do, so we're just gonna zoom out a bit so we can see everything. There we go. Now first off, now what we have here is a very nice booklet showing, of course, the all-seeing eye, old Big Brother style. And each page shows what's on each disc, along with a picture of a character. Now some discs will of course have a bit more stuff like an introduction and commentaries, but this is just the final cut from 2007. Now we're going to go into a bit more detail on what's on each disc, but this of course is disc 2, Dangerous Days Making a Blade Runner, a magnificent making of documentary. Then we go to all the other versions, like the US version, the international, and the director's cut. And after that we got some more pictures. I'm going to skip over that just in case. Then we got even more stuff, you know, like stuff like interviews and deleted scenes, and a few featurettes. Also got some trailers, which is always nice to see. Then there's also the work print, which is quite nice to see because, well, we'll get more into that later. Here we have a futuristic style letter from Ridley Scott, the director of the film. Now, I'll go into more detail of that later on, but, well, we got lots to go through. As you can see, it's all transparent, so it's a bit difficult to get through it all. In fact, we'll go through it now. Blade Runner, the final cut, is the product of a process that began in early 2000 and continued off and on through 7 years of intense research and meticulous restoration, technical challenges, amazing discoveries, and new possibilities. I have included the 4 previously seen versions of the film in newly transferred anamorphic widescreen with original unaltered 5.1 sound taken from archival 6 tracks. My goal was to give you the film in whatever form you prefer, the best picture and sound quality possible. The film's 35mm footage was scanned at 4K resolution off the original negative, while its groundbreaking visual effects were scanned at 8K resolution off pristine 65mm elements, all resulting in a stunning visual experience the likes of which have not been seen ever since the film's 1982 release, and perhaps not even then. So in other words, it's just as good, if not better. Likewise, we used existing 6-track masters to remix the film's immersive soundtrack with today's state-of-the-art technology. So, yeah. And finally, I have assembled a collection of in-depth documentaries, multifaceted commentaries, never-before-seen footage, and rare artwork to give you a deeper appreciation of all the work that went into the making of this film. I can now wholeheartedly say that Blade Runner, the final cut, is my definitive director's cut of the film. Signed, Ridley Scott. And a little Ridley Graham as extra. Now, before we get into the discs proper, just one last little dossier to go through. Now, these are art cards. They've got little bits of artwork like Sid Mead concept art, and also a description of basically the thing in question and what it took to make it. As you can see, we got both the city, Deckard's kitchen, I used to think it was his bathroom or something, a taxi, some production illustrations by Mentor Hubner of a deleted scene of the film. We got a VFX illustration by Tom Cranham, some storyboards by Sherman Labby. This one, by the way, is the one of Deckard versus Press. And this one is the beginning scene in which Leon shoots Holden. Originally, it was supposed to be like a laser thing, but they didn't have money or time to do it. And finally, some more concept art by Sid Mead of the Voykov test. And that's all of it. Just gotta put this away nice and quickly. Anyway, now for the main item at hand, the discs. Now just gonna zoom in all over again so we can get a good detailed look at them. Now disc 1 has the director's cut, and as you can see, each disc has, a character who's like important in some way or another. The first disc naturally has Deckard. Disc 2, which is right here, is Dangerous Days, the making of Blade Runner. It uses a lot of stuff like interviews and production archival footage, from behind the scenes back in the day in 1981, I guess. And of course it's got Rachel on it. Now disc 3 is the other versions of the film, apart from just one other, which we'll get to in a minute. The versions are the US theatrical cut, the international version, and the director's cut from 1992, which is supposed to be a 10th anniversary version. Originally, that was supposed to be the last one, until, of course, that came along. And, well, who else could be on it but Roy Batty? And by the way, rest in peace, Rutger Hauer. Now, Disc 4 has all the exclusive special stuff, like the interviews, the featurettes, trailers, and so on. And we got Pris on it. The final disc is the work print version. Now I'm going to go in a little more into detail with what's on this disc. The work print version was originally very rare to get hold of. It was only available on VHS for a limited time. But now we have it on disc. This disc also has a featurette on all the different versions and everything that had to happen in order for the final cut to be made. And we got Zora on the final disc. Now naturally I would love to be able to show you everything that's on the discs, but well, there's always that little thing of content ID and well, other unfortunate things like copyright strikes, so this is the best I can do, I'm afraid. Don't worry, next week we'll go into more detail on other things. Okay, well, that's all of it. Obviously I'm going for a little bit something different nowadays. I'm not going for, what I would have done anymore. I'm going for more like trivia, did you know kind of stuff. By the way, speaking of did you know, if anybody has any idea what this thing is that I did show, please tell me, because I have no idea what they call them. It's probably like a scene diorama type of thing, but I might be wrong on that. So if you know, please let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Next week we're going to look into basically the movie. It's going to be like a movie review, I guess. That's going to be a little more tricky to do because it'll be the first proper one I've done. So, if you can, like, comment, subscribe, ding, dong, blah blah blah. I get it if you don't want to, but it does help. So with that, hats off to you.